Eyes swollen shut, can't see the sky, and paints a shadow I can't outrun. Grief digs deep like a jagged knife, and yet it whispers it's almost done. Old things breaking, and new things waking. No more tears, no more pain, no more cries in the dark. The old order fades away. YaHuAH wipes it away. Stones crumble where the tower stood. Bloodstains washed by a raw flood. Do you feel it? The world's been spun. Tangled threads coming undone. No more tears, no more pain, no more cries in the dark. The old order fades away. YaHuAH wipes it away. Don't you fear, no, don't you fear. A new dawn's rising here. The wicked fall, the broken rise. Every tear wiped from our eyes. Don't you fear, no, don't you fear. A new dawn's rising here. The wicked fall, the broken rise. Every tear wiped from our eyes. No more tears, no more pain, no more cries in the dark. The old order fades away. YaHuAH wipes it away. Wipes it away. Like to get to know you well. Like
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
we can be one together with YaHuAH. Like to get to know you well. Like to get to know you well. Like to get to know you well.
Shalom to friends and family. Shalom to everybody. Shalom to everybody that have the privilege to join us today on the Righteousness Radio. We are very sorry our time changed today. Yes, our time changed today on the Righteousness Radio. But everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is good.
Wipe away the tear. Together we can strip down the barriers and be one with YaHuAH. Don't wanna talk about the weather. Don't wanna talk about the news. Just wanna get to the real you inside. Like to get to know you well. Like to get to know you well. Like to get to know you well. So we can be one together with YaHuAH.
what you have to do, that is what you have to start sharing, start calling people, start calling everybody. Because we have to know that this is our responsibility. This is our responsibility. Yes, you have to share and call everybody.
From another side. Like to get to know you well. Like to get to know you well. Like to get to know you well. So we can be one together without a YaHuAH. Like to get to know you well. Like to get to know you well. Like to get to know you well. So we can be one.
Have you start sharing? Have you start calling everybody? Have you start calling people? Do you let them know that something is about to happen on the Righteousness Radio? If you have not done so, please start doing that. Right now, start doing that.
So we can be one together, YaHuAH. Like to get to know you well. Like to get to know you well. Like to get to know you well. So we can be one together without a YaHuAH.
He walked the earth in humble stride, hands of healing, arms open wide. Not the Father, but the Son had been bound in love, one in unity, one in essence, one in name, a bond of truth and eternal flame. Not the same, but side by side, in heart, in soul, forever tied. He spoke with power, calm yet strong, a voice that echoed heaven's song. Not a claim of stolen throne, but the Father's will, his own. One in essence, one in name, a bond of truth and eternal flame. Not the same, but side by side, in heart, in soul, forever tied.
I want you to know that we are here today with our guest. Our guest for today is here with us. That is our sister from Canada as well. Because today's program is very, very interesting. I'm telling you, we are here to continue our topic on what the book of Ezra. The book of Ezra, our continuation from the book of Ezra. And I promise we are going to finish everything up today. You are the one that just have to sit tight and let's enjoy today's program together. Have you start sharing? Have you start calling people?
Truth and eternal flame, not the same, but side by side, in heart, in soul, forever tied.
enchant your hymns.
Shalom, 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 brother YaHuAH.
Shalom, 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 mama. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom, sister. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you, brother. I think you're muted.
Shalom, 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 sister. Can you hear me?
Shalom, shalom.
Can you
How are
hear me?
you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. How are you doing, sister?
I'm doing great. All praise to YaHuAH.
All praise to the Most High YaHuAH. All praise to the Most High YaHuAH. All praise to the Most High YaHuAH. All praise to the Most High. Yes, because we have to give Him praise. We have to give all adoration to His name firstly before anything. Even whether we are happy, we have to. If you are not happy, you have to. No. In any condition, in any position, we have to know how to appreciate Him. How to appreciate what? The Most High YaHuAH. Are you there, sister?
Yes, I'm here, brother.
I want you to introduce yourself to our listener very fast before we go through today's program. After that, I just want to say a few things before we start today's program.
Okay. My name is Sister Chrissy YaHuAH, and I'm a member of the assembly called YaHuSHA is the Savior Assembly, Love of YaHuAH. And our assembly ministry is to minister and to profess the word of YaHuAH on Righteousness Radio, to proclaim the word of YaHuAH to the four corners of the earth, to shed light upon the lies of religion and world religions. And our object is to proclaim and exalt the name of YaHuAH and YaHuSHA, and come back to the original Hebrew, ancient Hebrew path, which is following the scripture, following Torah, following the commandments and statutes of YaHuAH. And so we are here to bring you the book of Ezra. We're going to continue from chapter 12 today. So Yada YaHuAH. All praise to YaHuAH.
YaHuAH, all praise to the Most High YaHuAH, all praise to the Most High YaHuAH. Yes, family, you can hear that very well. We are going to continue today. And today's program is in two parts always. The first part, the reading part, and the second part, what is the breakdown of what we read on the Righteousness Radio. And please don't miss the two parts. Don't miss any part out of the two. Don't miss any part out of the two. Yes. Are you there, sister?
Yes, I'm here,
yes,
brother.
Are you
Shalom.
ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
If you are
Thank
ready,
you so much.
we are ready as well. We are ready as well. You can start now.
Okay. Yada YaHuAH. I just want to give a little breakdown of who Ezra is. He's a Yahudim high priest and scribe who led a group of Yahudim exiles from Babylon back to Jerusalem around the time of 457 BC. So his main goal was to bring back the Torah, because when the Yahudim went and were exiled in Babylon, they learned the ways of Babylon. So his role as a priest and a scribe wanted to reinstate the living according to the law of Moshe. He's also a descendant of Aharon, which we know as Aaron, who is the first high priest. And it's amazing because he had written several books, and he dedicated himself to studying, teaching, and enforcing the law of Moshe. Yada YaHuAH, this is what we're reading today. That is just a little background of Ezra. And we're going to start from chapter 12, and we're going to go all the way to the end to chapter 23. So chapter 12, verse 1. And it came about in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of King Artaxerxes, and there was wine before me, and I took the wine and gave it to the king, and there was no other person before him. And the king said to me, On what account is your face sad? you are not well. This is nothing but a sad heart. And I was very much afraid. And I said to the king, may the king live for eternity. On what account should my face not be sad? For the city, the house of my ancestors' graves, was laid waste, and its gates were consumed with fire. And the king said to me, what are you seeking this about? And I prayed to YaHuAH of the Shemayim, and I said to the king, if it is good to the king, and if your servant shall find favor before you, so that you send him to YaHuAH, to the city of my ancestors' graves, I will also rebuild it. Then the king and the concubine who was seated by him said to me, how long will your journey be, and when will you return? And I found favor before the king, and he sent me, and I gave him a limit. And I said to the king, if it is good to the king, let him give me letters to the governors beyond the river, so that I may pass through until I come to YaHuAH, and a letter to Asaph, keeper of the orchard that belongs to the king, so that he will give me timber to cover the gates, and for the wall of the city, and for the house into which I shall enter it. And the king gave them to me, because the hand of YaHuAH was good. And I came to the governors beyond the river, and gave them the letters from the king. And the king had sent leaders of the army and horsemen with me. And Sanballat the Aronite heard, and it was displeasing to them that a person who had come to seek good for the sons of Yasharal. And I came to Yahushalem, and was there for 3 days. And I got up during the night, and a few men with me, and I told no person what YaHuAH had put into my heart to do with Yasharal. And there was no animal with me, except the animal upon which I rode. And I went out by the gate of Golela, and to the mouth of the spring of the figs, to the gate of the dung, and I was crushing in the wall of Yahushalem, which they are pulling down. And its gates were consumed by fire. And I went on to the gate of Eon, and to the swimming pool of the king, and there was no place for the animal under me to pass. And I was going up in the wall of the brook by night, and I was crushing in the wall, and I was in the gate of the ravine, and returned. And those who kept watch did not know why I went, and what I was doing. And the Yahudim, and the priests, and the nobles, and the rest who were doing the work, for until then I had not told. So I said to them, you see the condition in which we are in, how Yahushalem is desolate, and its gates were given to fire. Come, and let us wall off the wall of Yahushalem, and we will be no longer a disgrace. And I told them about the hand of YaHuAH that was good upon me, and with the words of the king that he said to me. And I said, let us rise and build. And their hands were strengthened for the good. And the Sanballat, the Horonite, and Tobiah, the slave, and Ammonite, and Geshem, the Arab, heard. And they laughed at us, and came against us, and said, what is this thing you are doing? Are you rebelling against the king? And I returned word to them, and said to them, the Eluah of the Shemayim, he will prosper us, and we are his pure slaves, and we shall build, and for you there is no share, and righteousness, and remembrance in Yahushalem. And Eliashib the high priest and his brothers, the priests, rose and built the sheep gate, and they dedicated it and set up its doors. And they dedicated as far as the Tower of the 100, as far as the Tower of Hananel. And at the hands of the men of the sons of Jericho, and at the hands of the sons of Zakur, son of Imri, and the sons of Hassanah, built the fish gate. They covered it and covered its doors and its bars and its bolts. And at their hand, Ramoth, son of Uriah, son of Hakkoz, took charge. And at their hand, Zadok, son of Benah, took charge. And at their hand, the Tekoites took charge, and the Adorim did not contribute their neck for their service. YaHuAH, son of Passover, and Meshullam, son of Besodeiah, took possession of the gate of old. They covered it and set up its doors, and its bars, and its bolts. And at their hand, Hananiah, son of Rokeam, took possession, and they left Yahushalem as far as Broad Wall. And at their hand, Rephaiah, ruler of half the area around Yahushalem, took possession. And at their hand, Yedaiah, son of Harumaph, and opposite his house took possession. And at his hand, Hattush, son of Hashabaniah, took possession. And Malchiah, son of Harim, and Hashub, son of Pahatham Moab, took possession of a second section as far as the tower of the furnaces. And at his hand, Shallum, son of Halohesh, ruler of half the area around Yahushalem, took possession, he and his daughters. Hanun and the residents of Zanoah took possession of the gate of the ravine. They built it and set up its doors and its bars and its bolts, and 1,000 cubits on the wall as far as the gate of dung. And Malchiah, son of Rechab, ruler of the area around Beth Hacherem, took possession of the gate of dung, he and his sons, and they covered it and set up its doors and its bars and its bolts. And the wall of the reservoir of the sheepskin for the fleece of the king, and as far as the staircase that goes down from the city of Dawood. Behind him, Nehemiah, son of Azbuk, ruler around the area of Beth Zur, took possession as far as the garden of the tomb of Dawood, and as far as the produced reservoir, and as far as the Bethen Gebarim. Behind him, the Levites took possession. Basuth, son of Bani, and at his hand, Hashabiah, ruler of half the area around Kaliah, took possession of his surrounding area. After him, their brothers took possession under Binui, son of Henadad, ruler over half of the area around Kalah. And at his hands, Ezra, son of Yeshua, the ruler over Mizpah, took possession of a second section of the tower of the ascent, where it is joined together to the corner. After him, Baruch, the son of Zabiah, took possession of a second section from the corner up to the door of Beth-Lesub, the high priest. After him, Meremuth, son of Uriah, son of Hakkoz, took possession of a second section from the door of Beth-Lesub up to where Beth-Lesub stops. And after him, the priests, men of Akakar took possession, and after him Benjamin and Hashub took possession opposite their house. After him Azariah, son of Maaseiah, son of Hananiah, took possession beside his house. After him Bani, son of Hanadad, took possession of a second section, from Bethazariah up to the corner and as far as the bend of Palal, son of Uzziah, from the opposite corner, and it is the tower that projects from the house of the king, the upper tower, the one at the court of the guard, and after him Pedaiah, son of Parosh, and the temple servants were living in Ophel, as far as the garden of the gate of the water to the east. And the tower projects, and after him the Tekoites took possession of a second section, from opposite the great projecting tower, as far as the wall of Ophoal. Above the gate of the horses the priests took possession, each man opposite his house. After him Zadok, son of Immer, opposite his house, and after him Shemaiah, son of Achaniah, keeper of the east side of the house, took possession. After him Hananiah, son of Shelemiah, and Hanun, sixth son of Zalaph, took possession of a second section. After him Meshullam, son of Berechiah, took possession opposite his treasure chamber. After him Malchiah, son of Seraphi, took possession as far as Bethananthinim, and the hucksters opposite the gate of the Muster, and as far as the middle of the bend. And the coppersmiths and the hucksters took possession of the middle of the ascent of the sheep gate. Chapter 14. And it happened when Sanballat heard that we were building the wall, and it seemed displeasing to him, and he became angry at much, and he laughed at the Yahudim, and he said in the presence of his brothers, "Is this the power of Samaria, that these Yahudim are building the city for themselves?" And Tobias the Ammonite came beside him, and they said to themselves, "They will not sacrifice or eat in their place. Will not a fox go up and break their stone wall? Hear, O our YaHuAH, for we are mocked, and return their insult to their heads, and give them over to mocking in a land of captivity, and do not cover over their transgression." And it happened when Sanballat and Tobiah and the Arabs and the Ammonites heard that the height of the walls of Jerusalem was rising, because the gaps were beginning to be blocked up, and it seemed very bad to them. So they all gathered against it to come and fight in Jerusalem. And we prayed to our YaHuAH and set up an advance guard against them day and night from their face. And YaHuAH said, "The strength of the enemies was broken, and the crowd is very great, and they will not be able to build on the wall." And those who were afflicting us said, "They will not know, and they will not see until we come into their midst and kill them and stop the work." Then it happened when the Yehudim who lived close to them came, and they said to us, "They are coming up against us from all the places." So I stationed some into the lowest place behind the wall in the sheltered areas, and I stationed the people according to districts, with their swords, their spears, and their bows. And I looked and stood up and said to the nobles and to the rest of the people, Do not be afraid from their face. Remember our great and terrible YaHuAH, and prepare to fight for your brothers, your sons, your daughters, your wives, your houses. And it happened when our enemies heard that it was known to us, and that YaHuAH had scattered their counsel, we all returned to the wall, each man to do his work. And it happened from that day on, half of the outcasts were doing the work, and half of them were keeping guard. And there were spears and oblong shields, and the bows and the breastplates and the rulers behind every house of YaHuAH, of those who were building on the wall. And those who were lifting with carrying devices, with a weapon in one hand, he did his work, and with one hand he grasped the javelin. And as for the builders, a man with his sword fastened upon his waist. And they kept building, and the one who trumpeted on the horn was beside him. Then I said to the nobles, and to the rulers, and to the rest of the people, the work is great and much, and we are dispersed far upon the wall, each man from his brother. In whatever place you hear the sound of the horn, there you shall gather to us, and our YaHuAH will fight for us. And we were doing the work, and half of them were holding the spears from the rising of the dawn until the going out of the stars. And at that time I said to the people, spend the night in the midst of Jerusalem, and let the night be for you an advance guard, and the day work. And I and the men of the advance guard behind me were there, and no man from us was taking off his clothes. Verse 15. Now there was a great outcry of the people and their wives against the YaHudim brothers. And there were some saying, with our sons and with our daughters, we are many, and we will receive grain and eat and live. And there were some saying, as for our fields and our vineyards and our houses, we are mortgaging them, and we will receive grain and eat. And there are some saying, as for our fields and our vineyards and our houses, we borrowed money for the tribute of the king. Now our flesh is like the flesh of our brothers, their sons like our sons. And behold, we are oppressing our sons and our daughters for slaves. And some of our daughters are being oppressed, and there is no power in our hand, and our fields and our vineyards are for the nobles. And I was very distressed as I heard their outcry and these words, and my heart deliberated within me, and I quarreled with the nobles and the rulers, and said to them, will a man demand from his brother what you are demanding? And I called a great assembly for them, and I said to them, we have voluntarily acquired our YaHudim brothers who were being sold to the nations, and you are selling our brothers. And they were silent and could not find a word. And I said, the thing that you are doing is not good. You shall not depart in this way, in the fear of our YaHuAH, from the reproach of our enemies. And my brothers and my acquaintances and I put up money and grain for ourselves, and we gave up the right to demand this back. Return now these today, their fields, their vineyards, their olive tree, and their houses, and bring out for them from the money, the grain, and the wine. And they said, we will give these back and not seek them from them. Thus we will do just as you say. And I called the priests and made them swear to do according to this word. And I shook out my garment and said, thus may YaHuAH shake out every man from this house and from this labor who does not establish this word. And thus they will be shaken out and emptied. And all the assembly said, so be it, and praise YaHuAH. And the people did this word. from the day that he commanded me to be their ruler in the land of YaHuAH, from the 20th year even until the 32nd year of the Artaxerxes, 12 years, I and our brothers ate nothing of violence from them. And as for the first acts of violence which they burdened them before me, they also took the last money from them for bread and wine, 40 didrachmas, and their outcasts exercised authority over the people, but I did not do so from the face of the fear of YaHuAH, and I did not take possession over them by the work on the wall, and I did not acquire a field, and all who were gathered together were there for the work. And the Yahudim, 150 men, and those who came to us from the nations around us, were at my table. And what was prepared for one day was one calf and choice sheep, and they were preparing a goat for me, and among 10 days wine in abundance with everything. And I did not seek bread of violence with them, because the service was heavy upon this people. Remember me, O YaHuAH, for good, for all that I have done for this people. Chapter 16. And it happened when it was heard by Sanballat and Tobiah and Geshem and the Arab and the rest of our enemies that the wall was built, and there was no breath left in them. Up to that time I had not set up doors in the gates. Sanballat and Geshem said to me, Come and let us meet together in the villages in the plain of Ono. Now they were plotting to do harm to me. So I sent messengers to them, saying, I am doing a great work, and I will not be able to come down in case the work stops. Whenever I finish it, I will come down to you. And they sent to me like this word, and I sent to them in accordance with this. And Sanballat sent his servant to me, and an open letter was in his hand, and in it was written, It was heard among the nations that you and the Yahudim are plotting to rebel. Because of this, you are building the wall, and you will be their king. And in addition to these, you have set up prophets for yourself, so that you might sit in Jerusalem as king over YaHuAH. And now these words will be reported to the king. So now come, let us deliberate together. Then I sent to him, saying, It did not happen like these words that you are saying, because you are speaking them falsely from your heart. Because they were all trying to alarm us, saying, Their hands will fail from this work, and it shall not be done. But now I strengthen my hands. And I entered into the house of Shimei, son of Delaiah, and son of Mehetabel, since he was confined. And he said, Let us gather together into the house of YaHuAH in the midst of it, and let us shut its doors, because they are coming by night to kill you. And I said, Who is the man who will enter into the house and live? And I perceived, and behold, YaHuAH had not sent him, because the prophecy was a message against me. And Tobias and Sanballat had hired a crowd against me, that I might fear and act accordingly, and sin, and become for them a bad name, so that they might taunt me. Remember, O YaHuAH, Tobiah and Sanballat, as these deeds of his, and Neriah the prophet, and the rest of the priests, who were trying to terrify me. And the wall was finished on the 25th day of the month, Elul, in 52 days. And it happened when our enemies heard, and all the nations around us were afraid. And great fear fell on their eyes, and they knew that this work came to be completed from our Elul. And and those of Tobiah were coming to them, because many in Yehuda were bound by oath to him, because he was the son-in-law of Shechaniah and son of Ara, and his son Yehohanan had taken the daughter of Meshullam, son of Berechiah, as wife. And they were telling me his words, and were conveying my words to him. And Tobias sent letters to terrify me. Chapter 17. Now it happened, when the wall was built, that I set up the doors, and the gatekeepers, and the singers, and the Levites were inspected. And I commanded my brother Hananiah, and Hananiah the ruler of the palace in Jerusalem, because he was a truthful man, and feared YaHuAH more than many. And I said to them, the gates of Jerusalem will not be opened until the same time as the sun, and while they are still awake, let the doors be shut and locked, and set up advance guards from those who live in Jerusalem, each man at his post, and each man opposite his house. And the city was wide and big, and the people in it were few, and no houses were built. And YaHuAH put it into my heart, and I assembled the nobles and the rulers and the people into a company. And I found a document of the company who went up first, and I found written in it, and these are the sons of the territory who went up from the captivity of the exile, which Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had exiled. And he returned to Jerusalem and to YaHuAH, each man to his city, with Zerubbabel and Joshua and Nehemiah and Azariah and Nahemiah and Nehemiah and Maldocheos and Bilshan and Maspharan, Ezra, Batoi, Nahum, Bahanah, and Mispar, men of the people of Yasharal, sons of Parosh, 2,172, sons of Shephatiah, 372, sons of Ara, 652, sons of Pahath Moab, in reference to the sons of Joshua and Joab, 2,818, sons of Elam, 1,254, sons of Zatu, 840, sons of Zathu, 860, 840, sons of Zathu, 860, sons of Binui, 648, sons of Babai, 628, sons of Azgad, 2,328, sons of Adokam, 667, sons of Bigwa, 2,067, sons of Adan, 655, sons of Ater, in reference to Hezekiah, 98, sons of Hashum, 328, sons of Baziah, 324, sons of Hariph, 112, sons of Gibeon, 95, men of Beth Asmaveth, 42, men of Kirath Yerim, Kephirah, and Beeroth, 721, men of Ramah and Tamal, 621, men of Michmash, 122, men of Bethel and Aiah, 123, men of Nebo, 52, men of Elam, 1,250, sons of Harim, 320, sons of Jericho, 345. Sons of Lod, Hadid, and Ono, 721. Sons of Sanah, 930. The priests, sons of YaHuAH, for the house of YaHuSHA, 973. Sons of Amer, 1052. Sons of Pashur, 1247. Sons of Harim, 1017. The Levites, the sons of YaHuSHA, in reference to Kadmiel, in reference to the sons of Hodavah, 74. The singers, sons of Asaph, 148. The gatekeepers, sons of Shalom, sons of Atir, sons of Atir, sons of Talmon, sons of Akub, sons of Hatita, sons of Shobai, 138. The temple servants, sons of Ziha, sons of Hasufa, sons of Gabooth, sons of Keros, sons of Ziha, sons of Padon, sons of Labana, sons of Hagabah, sons of Shalmai, sons of Hanan, sons of Gedal, sons of Riai, and sons of Rezin, sons of Nekoda, sons of Gazam, sons of Uzi, sons of Pasia, sons of Basai, sons of Meunim, sons of Nephushashim, sons of Babuk, sons of Hakufa, sons of Harur, sons of Bazluth, sons of Mahida, sons of Hadashah, sons of Barkos, sons of Sisera, sons of Hemath, sons of Azariah, sons of Hatifa, sons of the servants of Solomon, sons of Sotai, sons of Sophereth, sons of Perida, sons of Yala, sons of Darkon, sons of Gidal, sons of Shephatiah, sons of Hatil, sons of Pokereth, sons of Sabiem, sons of Ammon. All the temple servants and the sons of the servants of Solomon were 392. And these went up from Tel Melah, Tel Harsha, Cherub, Adon, Emer, and they were not able to verify their ancestral houses and their seed, whether they were from Yasharal. Sons of Deliah, sons of Tobiah, sons of Nekoda, 642. And from the priests, sons of Hobiah, sons of Hakoz, sons of Barzillai, because they had taken wives from the daughters of Barzillai and the Gileadite, and they were called by their name. These sought their record of the company, but it was not found, and they were made near kin from the priesthood. And Athirsathah spoke up so that they would not eat from the set apart, the Holy of Holies, the set apart place, until the priest should arise to enlighten. And all the assembly was about 42,308, besides their male servants and their female servants. These were 337, and 245 male singers and female singers, 2,700 donkeys. And some of part of the rulers of the ancestral families gave to the work of Nehemiah, to the treasury 1,000 gold coins, 50 bowls, and 30 stands for the priests. And some of the rulers of the ancestral families placed in the treasury of the year 20,000 gold coins and 2,200 minas of silver, and 67 mekonoth for the priests. And the priests and the Levites and the gatekeepers and the singers, and those from the people, and the temple servants, and all Yasharal settled in their cities. Chapter 18. And the 7th month came, and the sons of Yasharal were in their cities, and all the people assembled as one man to the square that is before the water gate. And they told Ezra the scribe to bring the document of the law of Moshe, the law of Moses, which was commanded to Yasharal. And Ezra the priest brought the law before the assembly, from man to woman, and everyone who understands, to listen on the first day of the 7th month. And he read in it from the time the sun rose until half the day, opposite the men and the women, and they were understanding, and the ears of all the people were to the document of the law. And Ezra the scribe stood on a wooden platform, and there stood beside him Mattithiah and Shemaiah and Hananiah and Uriah and Hilkiah and Maaseiah, on his right hand, and on his left Pedaiah and Mishael and Malchiah and Zechariah. And Ezra opened the document before all the people, because he was above the people. And it happened, when he opened it, all the people stood, and he baruched YaHuAH, the great Eluah. And all the people answered and said, so be it. And they bowed down and worshipped YaHuAH with their face to the ground. And Yahushua and Benaiah and Sherebiah were instructing the people in the law. And the people were in their place, and they read in the document of the law of YaHuAH. And Ezra was instructing and teaching on the knowledge of YaHuAH, and the people understood during the reading. And Nehemiah spoke along with Ezra, the priest and scribe, and the Levites instructing the people. And they said to all the people, today is set apart to YaHuAH our Eluah. Do not mourn or weep. For all the people were weeping as they heard the word of the law. And he said to them, go, eat fat, and drink sweet wine, and send portions to those who do not have, because today is set apart to our Eluah. And do not collapse, for he is our strength. And the Levites were silencing the people, saying, keep silent, because today is Kadash, it is set apart, and do not be downcast. And all the people departed to eat and to drink, and to send portions, and to make great merriment, because they had understood by the words that were explained to them. And on the 2nd day, the rulers of the ancestral families gathered together with all the people, the priests and the Levites, to Ezra the scribe, to attend to all the words of the law. And they found written in the law that YaHuAH had commanded Moshe that the children of Yasharal should reside in tents during a feast in the 7th month, and that they should sound trumpets in all their cities and in Jerusalem. Then Ezra said, go out to the mountain and bring foliage of olive trees and foliage of cypress, wood, and foliage of myrtle, and foliage of date palm, and foliage of thick wood to make tents, in accordance with what is written. So the people went out and brought them, and made tents for themselves, each man on his housetop, and in their courts, and in the courts of the house of YaHuAH, and in the broad places of the city, and as far as the gate of Ephraim. And all the assembly, those who had returned from captivity, made tents and dwell in the tents, because from the days of YaHuSHA, son of Nun, until that day the children of Yasharal had not done so. And there was great merriment. And day by day he read in the document of the law of YaHuAH, from the first day until the last. And they observed the feast 7 days, and on the 8th day there was a culmination. Chapter 19. And on the 24th day of this month, the children of YaHuAH assembled with fasting and with sackcloth. And the children of YaHuAH were separated from every foreign son, and they stood and confessed their sins and the transgressions of their ancestors. And they stood in their position and read from the document of the law of their YaHuAH, and were confessing to YaHuAH and doing obeisance to their YaHuAH. And YaHuSHA, the son of Kadmiel, the son of Sherebiah, the son of Arabiah, stood at the ascent of the Levites and cried out with a great voice to YaHuAH, their YaHuAH. And the Levites, YaHuSHA and Kadmiel, said, Stand up, Baruch YaHuAH, our YaHuAH, from eternity to eternity, and they will Baruch your glorious name and exalt it with every barakah and praise. And Ezra said, You yourself are YaHuAH alone. You made the Shemayim of Shemayim and all their position, the earth and all that is on it, the seas and all that is in them, and you make everything alive. And the armies of the Shemayim do obeisance to you. You are YaHuAH. You chose Abram, and led him out of the territory of the Chaldeans, and placed upon him a name, Abraham. And you found his heart trustworthy before you. And established a covenant with him and his seed to give him the land of the Canaanites and Hittites and Amorites and Perizzites and Yabusites and Girgashites. And you established your words because you are righteous. And you saw the humiliation of our ancestors in Mitzrayim and heard their outcry at the Sea of Reeds. And you gave signs in Mitzrayim against Pharaoh and against all his servants and against all the people of his land, because you knew that they had acted arrogantly against them. And you made a name for yourself, as it is this day. And you split the sea before them, and they went by the midst of the sea on dry land. And those who were pursuing them, you threw them into the deep, like a stone in mighty water. And with a pillar of cloud you led them by day, and with a pillar of fire at night, in order to give them light on the way in which they should go in it. And you came down upon Mount Sinai and spoke with them from the Shemayim, and gave them straightforward judgments and truthful laws and ordinances and good commandments. And you made known your set-apart Shabbat to them. You commanded them commandments and ordinances and law by the hand of Moshe, your servant. And you gave them bread from the Shemayim in their famine. And you brought forth water from a rock for them in their thirst. And you took them to enter to possess the land over which you stretched out your hand to give them. And they stiffened their neck, and they did not listen to your commandments. And they refused to listen, and did not pay attention to your wonders that you performed with them. And they stiffened their neck, and they gave a beginning to return to their slavery in Mitzrayim. But you are a merciful and compassionate YaHuAH, patient and very forgiving, and you did not forsake them. Furthermore, they also made for themselves a molten calf, and said, These are the mighty ones who led us out from Egypt, Mitzrayim. And they made great provocations. And you, in your great mercies, did not forsake them in the wilderness. You did not turn away from them the pillar of cloud to lead them day by day in the way, and the pillar of fire to illuminate for them by night the way in which they should go in it. And you gave your good Ruach to instruct them, and did not withhold your manna from their mouth. And you gave them water for their thirst, And 40 years you supported them in the wilderness. There was no lack. Their garments did not grow old, and their feet were not bruised. And you gave them kingdoms and allotted peoples to them. And they took possession of the land of Sihon and the land of Og, king of Bashan. And you multiplied their children like the stars of the Shemaim. And you brought them into the land that you told their fathers. And they took possession of it. And you destroyed before them the residents of the land of the Canaanites, and gave them and their kings and the peoples of the land into their hands, to do with them as was acceptable before them. And they captured fortified cities and took possession of houses full of all good things, hewn cisterns, vineyards, and olive groves, and all kinds of fruit trees in abundance. And they ate and were filled and grew fat and delighted themselves in your great goodness. But they changed and departed from you and cast your law behind their body and killed your prophets who warned them to return to you. And they committed great provocations, and you gave them into the hand of those who oppressed them, and they oppressed them. And they cried out to you in the time of their oppression, and you heard from your Shemaim, and in your great mercy you gave them deliverers, and you delivered them from the hand of those oppressing them. And as they rested, they returned to doing evil before you, and you abandoned them into the hands of their enemies. And they ruled among them. And again they cried out to you, and you listened from the Shemaim and rescued them in your great mercy. And you determined with them to return them to your law, and they did not listen, but sinned against your commandments and your judgments, which a person who has done them will live by them. And they offered a disobedient back, and they stiffened their neck and did not listen. And you lasted with them many years, and warned them by your YaHuAH, by the hand of your prophets, and they did not listen. And you gave them into the hand of the peoples of that land. And you, in your great mercy, did not make an end of them, and you did not forsake them, for you are strong and merciful and compassionate. And now, our strong, great, mighty, and awesome YaHuAH, who keeps your covenant and your mercy, let all the hardship not become diminished before you, which found us and our kings and our rulers and our priests and our prophets and our fathers among all your people, from the days of the kings of Assyria, even until this day. And you are righteous in all that has come upon us, for you acted truthfully, and we did wrong. And our kings and our rulers and our priests and our fathers did not carry out your law, and did not give heed to your commandments and your testimonies about which you warned them. And they, in your reign and in great goodness that you gave them, in the wide and rich land that you have set before them, would not serve you, and did not turn back from their evil habits. Behold, we are slaves today, and the land that you gave our fathers to eat its fruit belongs to the kings whom you gave over us in our sins. And they exercise authority over our bodies and over our livestock, as is acceptable to them. And we are in great affliction. And in all this, we are establishing faithfulness and writing it down. And our rulers, our Levites, and our priests are sealing it. Chapter 20. And over those affixing seals were Nehemiah, son of Hasaliah, and Zedekiah, son of Seraiah, and Azariah, and Yirmiyahu, and Pashur, Ermiah, Malachiah, Tus, Abaniah, Maluk, Harim, Amaros, Abadiah, Daniel, Jenathoth, Baruch, Meshulam, Abiyah, Yamin, Nadiah, Belsiah, Shemaiah. These are the priests. And the Levites were YaHuSHA, son of Azaniah, Benui, of the son of Henadad, Kadmiel and his brothers, Shebaniah, Hodiah, Kanta, Zakur, Sherebiah, Shebaniah, Hodiah, sons of the rulers of the people were Parash, Moab, Elam, Zach, were Asgad, Babe, Adoniah, Bigva, Adin, Ater, Hezekiah, Adur, Hodiah, Hashum, Besiah, Harif, Anatoth, Boniah, Bagaphis, Meshulam, Hazir, Meshezabel, Zadok, Pelatiah, Hanan, Aya, Osi, Hananiah, Hashub, and Holesh, Pilha, Shobak, Rehum, Hashabaniah, Maaseiah, Ara, Anan, Maluk, Harim, and Benaiah, and the rest of the people, the priests, the Levites, the gatekeepers, the singers, the temple servants, and all those who turned to the law of YaHuAH, away from the prophets of the land, their wives, their sons, their daughters, everyone who sees and understands, were prevailing against their brothers, and they cursed them and entered into a curse and an oath to go into the law of YaHuAH, which was given by the hand of Masha, the slave of YaHuAH, to observe and to do all the commandments of our Eluah and his judgments, and in order not to give our daughters to the peoples of that land. And we will not take their daughters for our sons. And the peoples of the land who bring merchandise and any sale on the Shabbat day to sell, we will not buy from them on the Shabbat and on the set-apart Kodash day, and we will lay upon ourselves the command to give from ourselves 1/3 of Didrakama per year for the service of the house of our Eluah, for the bread of the face and the sacrifice of perpetuity, and for the whole burnt offering of the perpetuity of the Shabbat, of the new moons, for the feast, and for the sacred things, and the things for sins to propitiate for Yasharel, and for the work of the house of our Eluah. And we, the priests and the Levites, and the people, cast lots for the task of carrying wood, to bring it for the house of YaHuAH, for the houses of our ancestral families, for seasons of the times, year by year, to burn on the altar of our Eluah, as it is written in the document, and to bring the first fruit of our land, and the first fruits of the fruit of every tree, year by year for the house, and to bring the firstborn of our sons and our livestock, as it is written in the law, and the firstborn of our cattle and our flocks for the house of our Eluah, for the priests who minister in the house, and we will bring the first fruits of our grain and the fruit of every tree, wine and olive oil for the priests, to the treasury of the house of Eluah, the tithe of our land for the Levites, and the Levites themselves are collecting tithes in all the cities of our service, and the priests, the sons of Aharon, shall be with the Levites in the tithe of the Levites, and the Levites shall bring tithe of the tithe to the house of our Eluah, to the treasury at the house of Eluah, because the sons of Yasharel and the Levites shall bring into the treasury first fruits of the grain, and the wine, and the olive oil, and the sacred vessels, and the priests who minister, and the gatekeepers and the singers are there. And we will not forsake the house of our Alua. YaHuAH, YaHuAH, YaHuAH. That is finishing chapter 20. Next week, we're going to continue 21 to 23 to finish Ezra. So YaHuAH. Shalom, brother Yanualua.
Shalom. Yada YaHuAH, all praise to the Most High YaHuAH, all praise to the Most High YaHuAH. Yada YaHuAH, all praise to Him. Yes, all praise to Him. We really appreciate YaHuAH. We have to give praise to Him, and we have to say thanks to Him. And we are saying thanks to you as well for today reading on the Righteousness Radio, or for today reading on the Righteousness Radio. Yes, we are going to go to the second, today's program is divided into two places. This is the first place that is the reading, and the second place is where we are going to talk about what we read today. And before we go through it, I just want to ask you, are you there, sister? Do you have anything to say about today's reading before we go to the second part of today's program?
Shalom, brother Yanualua. All I would say is from what we read, we see a pattern and a cycle of Yasharal, and what that pattern is, and it occurs even today, is that when we disobey the law of YaHuAH, when we forsake YaHuAH through disobedience of the law of YaHuAH, we bring upon a curse, and we bring upon our own separation and captivity induced by our disobedience. So I think what we can take from this, we know that Yasharal, even now, is in captivity, and that captivity is the same reason why the Yasharal was sent to Babylon and had to be ruled by their oppressors. And it's the same as today now. Yasharal is scattered. A lot of them don't even know who they are because of the world religions. They don't know their identity. But right now, YaHuAH is calling his people and waking them up to gather them again, because YaHuAH is so loving, so merciful, that even though we have disobeyed so many times, YaHuAH is an alua of love and mercy, and he's calling us back right now, just as in the time of, just as he used Ezra as a prophet. As Ezra was calling the people back to the law and out of Babylon, YaHuAH is calling us now out of our disobedience to the law. Those who are of the bloodline of Yasharal, and those who are the wild branch that cleave onto Yasharal and join in Yasharal through their obedience to YaHuAH's law and through YaHuSHA. When we enter into obedience through in YaHuSHA, we are now being gathered to YaHuAH. So history is repeating itself, and we see that in this book of Ezra. So all praise to YaHuAH, YaHuAH.
YaHuAH. Yes. When everything I check about these scriptures is that we are going to the second part for today. And thank you, sister. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yes. I want you to know something clearly before we go to today's second part. Is that everything we read on this book, is almost the same thing that what the book of the book of Baruch that we talked about yesterday talks about the same thing. It talks about what? The same thing. It talks about the same thing. Because if you check it very well, everything talks about what? YaHuAH bringing his children back together again and again. Bringing his children back together.
while the voice of the wind is the loudest call. I don't need a temple or a silver crown. The road to the truth runs through this old town. Fancy words crumble like dust when faith is forged in simple trust. Your crosses won't save you, no, they never could. YaHuSHA's the name that'll do you good. You can keep your knowledge, your books, your creed, but salvation, my friend, that's the key you need. I'm a rebel, yeah, I walk alone on the dirt path where the seeds are sown. The Holy Trinity ain't where I'll be. YaHuSHA's my anchor, my eternity.
The wind rolls wild across the plains, a whisper calling out my name, but no false trail, no broken sign could ever pull me from your line. Wild horse couldn't drag me away, not from your love, no how, no way. No wrong herd, no wolf in sheep's disguise could steal my heart or
Yes, we are back now. We are back now. I'm talking about these two books. Everything I'm still talking about the same thing. Pointing at the same places, the same direction. Talking about the end time. Talking about what? About the end time. Everything is talking about the end time. Everything is talking about the end time. I'm telling you, that is why we don't have to joke with anything this time around. This time we don't have to joke with anything. And the first chapter of Ezra is Ezra chapter 12, the continuation. I've talked about it on our last program with our sister Lee William. But I'm still going to talk about it again. Talk about the fasting and prayer of Ezra for the children of YaHuSHA. Because when they disobey YaHuAH and to marry a foreigner, they disobey him.
every day. Wild horses couldn't drag me away.
Their sin is what? They married foreign woman. What YaHuAH said don't do, but they ignore it and did it. But Ezra come to the presence of YaHuAH, he tear his clothes, and for in his faith and fasting, he fasted for them and asked for forgiveness.
Shelter,
He cries to YaHuAH on behalf of the children of YaHuSHA.
no chains of doubt, no earthly sway could make my soul turn away. Wild horse couldn't drag me away, not from your love, no how.
I know you and I have done something wrong. Let me tell you something. There is someone that can ask for forgiveness from our Father YaHuAH, which is one person, YaHuSHA Hamashiach. Just tell him, confess your sin to him, and he's going to talk to his Father, and you are going to be forgiven. For guess what? People that they are ready to be honest in front of the Most High YaHuAH. Let me tell you something. When we are talking about YaHuAH. It's not that maybe YaHuAH can see what you have done. What you have done wrong, everything that you are doing, is not that YaHuAH can see everything. YaHuAH can see it clearly. But you are the one that will ask for forgiveness and confess your sin. You are the one that will stand right and confess your sin to YaHuSHA, because now YaHuSHA is our high priest. There is nothing like high priest again. That your pastor that you cry and confess your sin to can't do anything for you. The only person that you have right to talk to and ask for forgiveness is your Father, YaHuSHA. Is our Savior YaHuSHA, the Son of the Most High YaHuAH, and is the one that will help us to talk to our Father YaHuAH. As what? As Ezra did for the children of YaShara. Is the one. Yes, let's go to the book of the book of Ezra, chapter 13. It talks about the people of the children of YaShara react to the prayer of Ezra.
Fools, they call us blind, yet they're the ones who can't find time to see the truth. It's divine, it's desire.
Talks about the children of YaShara, the people, they come together. When they saw that Ezra is praying to YaHuAH, they come together and confess their sin. They gather around in tears. They gather around him in tears and confess their sin and ask for forgiveness together. They confess their sin. They confess their sin. The people agree to separate from strange wives. They agree to separate themselves from what? From sin. Let me tell you something. The only key place, the only key word for you and I, and the only solution is that what? When you confess your sin, you have to agree to separate yourself and what? Make a new covenant. In the presence of the Most High YaHuAH, you have to make a new covenant. You have to let him know that what? YaHuAH, I'm not going to do this again. I will not do it again. You must make a new covenant with your Father YaHuAH. Afterwards, you agree to separate yourself from sin. Because true repentance is not just a word, it's not just talking, but what? It's by action. It's by action, not just in emotion, not just asking for forgiveness, but what? But you have to put it into an action. Yes, because all of them, the children of YaShara, they come together and they agree what? To come into a new covenant with YaHuAH, to come back to him. To come back to him. They repent and what? And put that into an action. They agree what? To separate themselves from sin. That is what is called true repentance. Repentance doesn't complete with that word, putting that into an action. When you say you repent and you don't put it into an action, that means that what? You are not ready. You can still go back. But when you repent and you said, I'm not going to do this, you have to separate yourself. That is what? You put it into an action. And the book of Ezra chapter 14 talks about what? The investigation. The people, they come together and appoint themselves to investigate who married what? The foreign wife. And Ezra separate himself and continue fasting, praying. They restore everything. The people come together to start investigating, to put it into an action, to separate themselves. To action, repentance, that is what is called the true repentance. And the book of Ezra chapter 15 actually talks about the list of men who took foreign wives for themselves, the list of them. Talks about the name of the people of the priest, even the priest and the Levites and others who sin. Talks about them. They offer and they come together and offer sacrifice for cleanness for themselves. And when you go to the book of Ezra chapter 15 very well, you will understand that what sin in leadership affects the whole nation. Sin, just little sin from the top, affects everything. That is why when we want to ask for forgiveness, we have to ask for forgiveness of all our sin and true repentance and come to an agreement and take an action. And the book of Ezra chapter 16 talks about what? The completion of the purification. They all come together and purify themselves. They separate themselves fully. They separate themselves from the sin fully and do what? The spiritual cleanness. The spiritual cleanness of the land and themselves. They separate themselves, clean themselves, and clean themselves and purify all their sin away. They clean themselves in a way that was that sweet YaHuAH. Because YaHuAH requires the purity and obedience from his people. Let me tell you something. YaHuAH requires purity and obedience. Purity. You have to be pure and obedient. YaHuAH requires that. If you want to work with YaHuAH, you have to be pure. And the chapter 17 talks about the Passover under the Passover under Ezra. The people come together and celebrate Passover. They celebrate Passover. They celebrate what? Passover with joy. Afterward, after they clean themselves, after they clean themselves from sin, they come back together and what? And celebrate Passover. After asking for forgiveness, after repentance, you have to come back and worship YaHuAH truly. And worship YaHuAH truly. That is what you have to do. Not just to pray, not just to clean yourself, but clean it and what? And come back to worship him fully. And the chapter 18 talks about the king Darius and Zerubbabel and Joshua.
The sun's been beating down, the trail's gone dry, dust in my boots, but I still ride high. A tumbleweed rolls, the wind cuts sharp. This ain't a place for a faint of heart. Cowboy up, toughen your soul, get back on that horse, take control, don't back down.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Yes, we are back again. And the people, the book of Ezra chapter 18 talks about what? The work of the king, how the king, Ezra recount how the king support the rebuild of the kingdom of YaHuAH, of the temple, the work of the temple. something is that what only the people once YaHuAH choose to do something and nobody can stop it, YaHuAH can use anybody for his own purpose at any time. YaHuAH used the king to what? To rebuild his kingdom. Let me to tell you something. Once YaHuAH is ready to use you, nothing you can do. YaHuAH can use anybody and there is no one to complain. Because even the king, even the powerful people, YaHuAH can use them to serve his own purpose. So, when you are doing something for YaHuAH, YaHuAH can use you at any condition to serve his own purpose. To serve what? His own purpose. And the chapter 19 for the book of Ezra, the temple, the temple completion, they complete the temple. The children of YaHuSHA come together and complete the temple. The elders, they complete the temple and what? And the dedication to take place there instantly. Instantly, after they complete the temple, the sacrifice and offering, everything was restored. They dedicate themselves to complete it, and after completing the temple, they take themselves and restore everything, the sacrifice. When you are doing something for YaHuAH, you have to do it fully to the end. To the end. Yes, when we are talking about the restoration name of the Most High YaHuAH, we are not just talking about just to restore it, but what? We have to restore it fully. Because the chapter 19 talks about what? Sacrifice and offering are restored. That means that they go back to the normal way, to the true way, to restore everything completely. To restore everything completely. They come together to restore what? Everything completely. Because YaHuAH always fulfill his promise. No. Let me tell you something. When YaHuAH is ready to fulfill his promise, he can do it in any way. If YaHuAH tell you, I'm going to do this, he's going to do it. YaHuAH promised to rebuild his temple, and he rebuilt it. Let me tell you something. I talked about this yesterday. The promise that YaHuAH have made for Abraham when the children of YaHuSHA sing to YaHuAH, they come together and say to YaHuAH, remember the promise that you made to our father Abraham. YaHuAH never forget anything, and YaHuAH never leave anything to go in vain. Everything that YaHuAH said, I will do, he will do it. Because YaHuAH always use anything to fulfill his promise at his own right time. It takes time, yes. We all know that it takes time. But YaHuAH always what? Fulfill his promise, no matter what. YaHuAH fulfill his promise for his people, no matter how long it takes. But what? YaHuAH fulfill his promise for his people. And the last chapter for today, the book of Ezra chapter 20, talks about the celebration and the joy of the people after completing the temple. The people come together and they rejoice together. They rejoice together for the restoration. That is the part I want to use today. Let me tell you something. When the time comes, the joyful of the moment will be unstoppable. in a joyful way because what? YaHuAH have fulfilled his promise and the temple have been restored. His name have been restored. Let me tell you something. When the time comes, this is how the people, the children of YaHuSHA, will rejoice. This is how the children of YaHuAH will rejoice. Because by that time, the name of YaHuAH will have been restored. Everything will be all over. Everybody will know that the true name of the Most High is YaHuAH, and his name will be restored for everybody to know, and everyone will be filled with joy. The joy of YaHuAH is unstoppable. And when the time comes, everybody will rejoice. The joy of YaHuAH only comes what? At the end, when you stand and complete the restoration of his name. When you stand, obey and stand with him. That is where the what? The true joy of YaHuAH comes. Only for the people that stand to the end. Only for the people that wait to the end. Only for the people that endure. These people, they come together and to restore what? To restore the house of YaHuAH. To restore his name from captivity. And they restore it. Let me tell you something. Only the people that stand to the end, because what? The joy at the end, is unstoppable. The people, they endure the suffering, the bitterness, and to rebuild the house. But after they rebuild it, the joy comes, and the joy is unstoppable. That is what I'm using today as the key word. Only the people that come together, stand together, we enjoy the last moment. Only the people. I'm using this to say shalom to everybody that has the privilege to listen to us today on the Righteousness Radio. And for everyone that has the privilege to listen to us, we are saying thanks to you. And for everyone that shares, and anyone that wants to listen, maybe because of one or two things, that has no opportunity to listen to us today, I partner for everybody. May YaHuAH give us the strength to listen, so that we can listen to his word and to obey him. And I want you to keep listening to the Righteousness Radio, because the joy doesn't come from the beginning alone. No. Everything you are seeing now is just nothing. But what? The joy is for the people that stay to the end. The joy is for the people that listen what? To the end. That is the joy. For the people alone that listen, that stay to the end. And I pray for everybody, the joy at the end will be yours and mine. We are the one that will gain the joy. We are the one that will what? Gain the joy at the end. Only if you stand to the end. Only if you stand to the end. Only if you and I stand to the end. Because only the end, only the people that stand to the end will enjoy it.
To guide me through this world untrue. Oh, Abba, YaHuAH, hear my plea. Shine your love on my family. Each day I call your name so high. Forever faithful till I die. They twisted time, they changed the way. Forgot the meaning
saying thanks to everybody, and we are giving praise to the Most High YaHuAH, and we are saying thanks to everybody that listened to us today on the Righteousness. And we are going for today. Thanks to everybody.
Will always break the pain. Oh, YaHuAH.
Thank you. We really appreciate you. We really appreciate you. Thank you very much. I hope you keep listening to the Righteousness. Please keep listening. We love you all. We all love you. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow on the Righteousness. Please, our website is available for everybody right now. Our website is available for everybody. YaHuSHA first. Our website, YaHuSHA first. YaHuSHA first. Just go to your browser and search for YaHuSHA first. It's at the top. We always add the top. We always add the top. Please go and listen. Join our website to enjoy a lot of things. Thank you, family. Shalom, 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 shalom.
Dust rising sharp on the battlefield drive. A boy stands steady where the giants died. Handshake no more, no time to cry. YaHuAH wins your battles. YaHuAH wins my battles. YaHuAH wins battles. Stone and slain, bring giants down. He reached in deep, pulled out the stone. One shot, one crack, the giant's throne. A ripple through the ground, a fate overthrown. YaHuAH wins your battle. YaHuAH wins my battle. YaHuAH wins battle. Stone and sling, bring giants down. No sword, no shield, no army behind. Faith and fire carve the line. Strike the beast, leave it blind. YaHuAH wins your battle. YaHuAH wins my battle. YaHuAh wins battles. Stone and sling, bring giants down.
Adekola, okay. Number 7, Adekola Street.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Adekola Otun Street.
Okay.
They told us tales that weren't the truth, hid the light and masked the proof. Father YaHuAH, I call on you to guide me through this world untrue. Oh, Abba